Hello and good evening, English readers and book lovers, of course. Welcome to this new live read along. We skipped yesterday, and today we are reading chapter. Now I'm lost. Chapter 8. Yeah. We're reading chapter 8, all play and no work. This is our reading today because on Friday, so yesterday, I was not available to do chapter 7. So today we would to do chapter 8. So today we are doing chapter 8, and tomorrow at 5 p.m. CET, Central European Time, Paris time, I will do chapter 9, and at 6 p.m. I will do chapter 10. So by the end of this week, we will definitely finish complete all the chapters that were planned. Is just that, busy with work and stuff. Actually, yesterday, I have to say, I was at a seminar organized by a language center in the center of Bordeaux. We're sort of. And they hosted a Cambridge certification seminar, which was super interesting. And I even got home with a book, free book. And they were giving away a lot of books, and so that was so nice. And we have this presentation about what Cambridge, the amazing advantages of passing the Cambridge exams. So you have different levels of Cambridge certifications, and the amazing thing about this certification is that it's like a diploma. It is for life, unlike the tests that you sometimes have to do for university, like the IELTS or the TOEFL or the TOEIC. That's more in America that they ask those type of tests. And IELTS is asked for university. If you want to apply at universities. But those tests, unfortunately, are, because this is what it's about, tests. Those tests are just valid. They valid your level only for 2 years. After that, you have to retake those tests to be able to show that you have that level, which is not the case with Cambridge certification. So you have the B2 first, which is the most popular one, and then you've got the C1 and then C2. I will do a special podcast episode on this because I realize that it's so there is something that not everyone is aware about, and I think this should actually be more known by teachers and by the parents as well. And especially if you're someone that wants to, or if you're a parent that you want your children to have this certification in order for them to be able to go to to go into an international university. or to study abroad, or if you're someone if you're a student and you want to work or study abroad, um, as soon as you have this this certification, then the doors of all the universities and your jobs opportunity will open to you. And this is so valuable. And unfortunately, it's not so much known. It used to be, now less. I don't know. But it was kind of a feeling that was uh, that I received from the person who organized that seminar, because we had a little chat at the end. So yeah, and I think that's a shame, because I got my B2 first, and I'm so glad I did, because I passed my IELTS for to enter university, and it was and now it's not valuable. It doesn't it's worth nothing now. So I would need to retake another exam. But luckily, I've got my B2 first, and that's for life. So that's something that is so valuable, and should be more known. And that's why I'm going to do that video, so that you'll be able to understand a little bit more the advantage about more about what the test is about, and everything about the how to take the test and everything. So I'll do a video about that. That might be very interesting, I'm sure. um and as a teacher, you can actually this is also one of the it's something that I hadn't I just went there by curiosity. I didn't know really if I would get anything from it, but I definitely did, because the good thing is that um as a teacher, you can um you can prepare, if you work in collaboration with the center that um, um, that works with Cambridge, that is exam center, then you can, no matter if you live in France or in your whatever your country is, where you have a language center that has the accreditation, or the yes, the validation from who is an exam center of Cambridge certifications, then if you work with them, then it means that you can prepare your, and if the school you work in is interested, you can actually offer your students to prepare the exam, to prepare them for the exam. And I'm sure that it's something that lots of parents would be interested in. And you've got scholarships and fundings for to pay the test, because the test um, is not free. You have to pay to take the test, for the students to pay to take the test. So depending on the number of your students, but the thing is that I'm sure that you can, especially if you're a state school, you can definitely have fundings to be able to allow your students to take this test without almost no cost or very little cost, either for the students or for the school. So that's something I would love to do next year, because this year is too late. But it's really something that I would love I would love to implement in the school I'll be working in. I don't know yet which school, but it definitely is something that can be valuable and enormously valuable to the students if you are interested in offering this preparation. So that means probably that you would need to allocate some time, so maybe some lunch club thing or whatever. I think this is the kind of thing that I would do with the group of students that are enrolled in the preparation of that certification. So we'll see what happens next year, and if the school I work in will be interested in preparing the students for this. I mean, the volunteers, I mean, the students who are interested, or the parents who are interested in their child to take this exam. So definitely, if you've got students who you see are at the top of the class, those are sort of the profile, would be the profile. But that doesn't necessarily mean, because sometimes that's something very interesting, because you've got students who are very good in English, for example, but they're not really interested. Either they're good in everything, but sometimes they're really good, but then they don't really see that the potential that they have, or um the, they don't really care much about going further or expand their knowledge, and not necessarily interested in doing more, or yeah. I had the students last year. It was in the last year of so you have middle school, and then you've got so it's high school in America, and it's sixth form or college, the last year of college. So he was about 18, and he was best, probably one of the two best students. And he did not, there was this trip, this opportunity to go and do an internship in Denmark, and the student didn't apply for it. So that's a shame that sometimes when you're young, you don't really see the opportunities that are offered, that can be offered to you, especially when you're a top student. So that's the paradox sometimes, when you see students having amazing potential in your subject, but they don't really take it further, or yeah, or just taking all the opportunities that are offered to them. So yeah, so that was a little introduction to this live reading while waiting for people to join. But I'm gonna start now after my little coffee, tea. What am I talking about? It's tea, definitely. So here we go. Quick recap. Chapter 1 to 7 then. So we are reading, if you're just landing on this video, we are reading Little Women, which is the amazing classic of children literature, American children literature, wrote by Louisa May Alcott. So the story is about those four sisters, the March sisters. So the story starts at Christmas, and they want to take good resolution and be good girls for their mother and father. Their father is at war. The story is happening during the American Civil War, so in the 18th century. And their dad is at war, so the two eldest sisters, Meg and Jo, are working hard to bring money in the house, and the two little ones are looking after the house and the chores. So that's about the beginning. And then on Christmas Day, they're going to share their breakfast with this poor woman and her 6 children. And they're gonna have a beautiful time, Christmas time together. And those 4 sisters, they love making plays, creating, and they are very creative, whether it is to make slippers or, sewing stuff, making things with their hands, or when it's about creativity, imagination, like creating this play, and acting as well. So they're acting here. The play that I think Jo wrote, she's the one that is the creative one in terms of creativity, in terms of acting and imagining stories, because we learn later on that she loves to write stories in her little notebook. And next door there is this little boy, Laurie, and he is the grandson of Mr. Lawrence, who is the actual neighbor. And Laurie is living with his granddad because his parents have died, and he is quite lonely. His work is spending a lot of time studying, and he's studying a lot, and so it's not really having one, two, three. It doesn't really have much fun. So Jo, the funny one, the one that is the creative one, and the one that is a bit wild and free, she wants to entertain him, or at least make him have a little bit more fun in his daily life. So they're going to meet at this party, and after that they're going to spend a lot of time together. And at some point he's going to be sick at home, and she's going to visit him to keep him company. So they're going to spend some time together, and she's going to meet his granddad as well, Mr. Lawrence. And after that, Mr. Lawrence is going to make Beth a surprise. So this is Mr. Lawrence. Here we go. And Mr. Lawrence is going to be really happy to see that his grandson is having fun with these 4 girls and spending a lot of time together. And he knows that Beth really likes playing the piano. So because Laurie doesn't play the piano that much, now that is having fun with the two eldest, because I think Laurie is about 16, yeah. So is close to Meg and Jo's age. So Mr. Lawrence is going to offer the girls to use the piano when nobody is using it, and Beth is going to jump straight away on the occasion, on the opportunity, and she is going to ask him if she can play. And the next day and all the other days, she's going to go to play the piano at Mr. Lawrence. And to thank him, she's going to make him slippers. And Mr. Lawrence is going to be so touched by it that, and he's going to love those slippers, that he is going to thank her for the slippers. He's going to offer her a piano, and she's going to be she's going to be beyond so happy. Yeah, she's going to be over the moon about this gift. And after that, we have chapter 6 is quite a quite serious, yeah, let's say a more serious one, in which Amy, the little one, so Beth is the second daughter, and Amy here in chapter 6 is going to behave very poorly, as we can say, or very yeah, she's going to be very childish. And I mean, she's 11, so she's the little one, and but she's going to be hurt because she wants to go to the theater with Meg, Jo, and Laurie, but Jo is going to say no, and she's going to be very she's going to be cross about it, and she will, in revenge from this, she will she's going to burn Jo's notebook, in which she wrote all her in which she write all the plays and all her ideas about her stories, and she's going to burn it, knowing that it would hurt really bad Jo. So after that, Jo obviously isn't going to be so mad at her. She wouldn't want to forgive her, and they have this scene, and at some point Amy is going to be ice skating with them. She wants to follow them, and she's going to fall into the icy water in this lake, and luckily she's not gonna be hurt or anything. I mean, Laurie is going to save her, but Jo is going to be so shocked by this that she will feel so guilty for being mad at her and not forgiving her. So Jo is going to blame herself in the end, and in the end they're going to make up, let's say. So they're going to make peace, and they're going to reconcile. Chapter 7 is also a very particular, it's very vague, or a very sensitive, I would say, topic. Not sensitive, but more of a serious topic. It's not that very. I mean, the end is nice. But let's say that is so. It's about Meg, the eldest, and she's invited to Annie Moffat's house. So it's her friend, and this friend is rich, contrary to Meg, and she is going to invite her to this party, but Meg only has one dress, and she's going to lend her this beautiful dress and necklaces and beautiful, make her beautiful hair. And Meg is going to feel a little bit a little bit come out of place a little bit in this dress. She's not going to feel very comfortable at first, but then she's going to be is very new for her to wear this kind of very fancy dress. And when people are going to see her in this dress, suddenly you've got some boys who are going to be interested in her, boys who wouldn't otherwise, if she had worn her more classic, not classic, but more with less ornaments and more simple dress. And people are going to gossip a little bit about her and about the fact that talk about Laurie more specifically, and how a nice match it will be to make them to get them married. But actually Meg is not gonna like this kind of comments, and is going to argue that they're just friends, and she's not gonna and she's going to behave very widely in a way. It feels like she's behaving like a Jo. She's going to dance and laugh and drink all night, and Laurie is going to be quite worried about her, and but he's going to be very respectful at the same time, because at that moment Meg feels very sad, I guess, but more like judged. She's going to feel judged and not really comfortable wearing this dress and being at this party. So she's going to do a little bit, she's going to be a bit, do silly things, and or maybe, I mean, I don't know if it's silly, but she's going to enjoy herself and try not to think about all the stuff that people are saying behind her back, and about Mary and about marriage. And what I love about the mother's response, because when Meg is going to go back home, she's going to tell all about the story to her mother. She's going to confide in her about the whole party thing. And the mother is going to have very kind words and very supportive words towards her, and about the topic of on the topic of marriage. And the most important thing that she would care about is the fact that she would rather her to marry someone that is maybe poor but happy, someone that she loves. So the most important thing is for her mother is for her to marry for love and not for social rank or for condition or for the money. So I found that very beautiful. Hello, Katie. Welcome to this live reading. Welcome, welcome. How are you? So you arrived just at the right time, I guess. Yeah, it's fine. Don't worry. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to be alone today. But I'm glad that you were able to make it. I was actually finishing doing the recap, so I'm good, thank you. Yeah. I'm very good. Um, I've just finished. You arrived at the right time. Because I've just no worries. I've just finished talking about at the beginning of the at the beginning of the live, if you're interested, I talked a little bit about the seminar I went to. That's why yesterday I wasn't able to do the lives. I had a busy afternoon. I was attending this seminar about Cambridge certification. I talk a little bit about that at the beginning of the video, so feel free to watch it when you've got time. If you're interested, of course, about Cambridge certifications. So I talk a little bit about this. So yeah, I did the recap of the first chapters. So the chapters 1 to 7. Yes, I am. Thank you. Very dedicated. I love it. Thank you. It's lovely. So I was about to start reading chapter 8, so it's perfect. You arrived at the right timing. So let's go. So it's all play and no work. Hello, Melissa. The 1st of June and the 1st of June and the King family is going on holiday tomorrow, said Meg. I'm free and the King, okay. The first, okay. Okay, sorry, I was gone. I thought about the king. What king? So the 1st of June and the King family is going on holiday tomorrow, said Meg. I'm free for 3 months. So it seems like, remember? Hello, Melissa. I'm good. How are you? How was your day? So it feels like the King family is the family so remember, Meg is looking after kids. No, she is a teacher. Wait, Meg is a teacher? Oh, okay, we'll see. Or maybe she's looking after some kids, maybe. So I'm free for 3 months. And Aunt March went away for her holiday today, said Jo. Isn't life wonderful? So Aunt March, yeah, so the King family is probably the family she worked for. Oh, you're sad. What's going on? You can send me a message in private. Envoie-moi un message, envoie-moi en message privé, Mélissa, si ça va pas. OK? So what was I saying? So the King family is the one that Meg works for. So she must be teaching those kids only. And Aunt March is actually the lady, this old lady that she looks after. Non, don't be sorry. Sois pas désolée. Envoie-moi un message privé et puis je te rappellerai. OK? So Aunt March is this old lady that is not really nice with Jo, and Jo is looking after her and I guess the house, or taking her, looking after her. Isn't it life wonderful? So they both kind of free at the same time. What will you do all your holiday? Asked Amy. I'll stay in bed late and do nothing, said Meg. I have lots of books to read, said Jo. Let's not do any studying, Beth, said Meg. Let's play all the time and rest, as Jo and Meg are going to do. I will if Mother doesn't mind, said Beth. No, she's more the sensible one. Mrs. March agreed to the plan and said they could try it for a week. But, she said, I think by Saturday night you will find that all play and no work is as bad as all work and no play. That's a nice one. Next day, Meg appeared at 10 o'clock and ate breakfast alone. It was a lonely meal and the room was untidy because Beth had not cleaned it. Jo went to the river with Laurie, then sat at the apple tree and read a book. Beth began to tidy things in her cupboard, but she got tired and left it half done. She went to her piano, glad that she did not have to wash the cups and plates. Amy sat in the garden to draw, hoping someone would see her and say something nice about her picture. But no one appeared. So she went for a walk, got caught in the rain, and came home very wet. At tea, everyone said it had been a delightful but unusual long day. Meg, who had been shopping in the afternoon, now decided that she did not like the dress she had bought. Jo had a headache from reading too long. Beth couldn't find anything in her cupboard, and the rain had made Amy's dress so wet that she couldn't wear it to Katie Brown's party the next day. Mrs. Olivia! Welcome! I'm so happy! You made it! Yay! Okay, so little catch up for you. Petit récap. So we are reading chapter 8. Donc on est en train de lire Little Women. And we are reading chapter 8. Okay? So if you're in the car, if you're driving, then just listen in the background. Tu l'écoutes en fond si tu conduis. Okay? So I just started reading the chapter. Je viens juste de commencer. So Livia is my friend, Kitty. So that you know, Livia is my friend. So where was I? Next day, Amy. So all the girls, so they're not doing that. So they are on holiday. They're not doing the things that they are meant to do. And they're just doing the things that they like. But then we can see that they realize that it's maybe not a good thing. So Beth couldn't find anything in her cupboard, and the rain had made Amy's dress so wet that she couldn't wear it to Katie's Brown party the next day. Mrs. March listened, smiled, and said nothing. The week seemed to get longer and longer with nothing much to do. Then Mrs. March gave Hannah a holiday. Hannah is the servant of the house, in the March family. So she is the servant. So she's on holiday as well. So not doing the job that she used to do. Then Mrs. March gave Hannah a holiday. And when the girls got up on Saturday, there was no breakfast ready. So no fire in the kitchen and no mother waiting for them. What happened? Said Jo. Meg ran upstairs, then came down to say that mother was staying in her room to have a rest. She says we must look after ourselves today, Meg said. Good. I want something to do, said Jo. Secretly, they were all pleased to have something useful to do again. Beth and Emmy put cups and plates on the table, while Jo and Meg got the breakfast. Then Meg took some tea and an egg up to Mrs. March. The tea was too strong and the egg was burnt. Mrs. March did not complain, but she laughed to herself afterwards. Jo decided to invite Laurie to dinner. There is meat and vegetables and plenty of potatoes, she told Meg. And we can have strawberries and then coffee. Her mother said she did not mind at all because she was going out for dinner. Jo did her best, but the potatoes were still hard in the middle. The vegetables were cooked too long and fell to pieces, and the meat was burned black. The strawberries were not ready for eating, and she put salt on them instead of sugar. Unfortunately, this was not discovered until Laurie began eating them. He pretended everything was all right, but Laurie is the neighbor, so that's Laurie. So you can see here, there's a beautiful picture. Here you've got Laurie. He is the neighbor, and he is the friend of the girls. They're all friends. So here I think this is Jo. And I think here you've got Meg. She's the eldest. I think that's Beth, and that's probably Amy, the little one. Yeah, don't know what's going on here. The strawberries were not ready for eating, and she put salt on them instead of sugar. Yeah, because that's probably Jo who cooked. Unfortunately, this was not discovered until Laurie began eating them. He pretended everything was all right, but Amy took a spoonful and ran from the table. So she ate the strawberries, but they were disgusting. What's wrong? Said Jo. What's wrong? Meg and Laurie told her. Oh no, said Jo. Then she saw Laurie start to smile, and she began to laugh. Soon, everyone was laughing with her. What a terrible day, said Jo, after they had cleared everything away. Mrs. March returned home later. Have you enjoyed your week of all play and no work, girls? Or do you want another week of it? She said. I don't. Nor do I. I don't, said Jo. Nor do I, shouted the others. Mother, did you go out and leave us just to see how we would manage? Asked Meg. Yes, said Mrs. March. I wanted you to see that being comfortable depends on us all helping each other and not just thinking of ourselves. Isn't it better to have time for play and time for work and to make each day useful and enjoyable? Oh, it is, Mother, it is, said the girls. Some days later, all four girls went on a picnic with Laurie and his tutor, Mr. Brooke, and some other young people. Sally Gardiner and her English friend, Miss Kate Vaughan, were among them. It was a funny day, and they had their picnic on a hill under some trees. After the meal, most of the young ladies and gentlemen played games, but Miss Kate sat under a tree and began to draw. Meg watched while Mr. Brooke lay on the grass beside her, with a book which he did not read. I wish I could draw, said Meg. Why don't you learn? Replied Miss Kate. She was a little older than the other girls and was very much the fashionable young lady. I haven't time, said Meg. I have a job teaching 4 children in a family. Oh, said Miss Kate, looking rather shocked. She said no more, but her face showed that she thought being a private teacher was a little better than being a servant, and Meg's cheeks quickly became red. In America, young ladies prefer to work and earn money for themselves, said Mr. Brooke quickly, and not expect others to pay for everything. I see, said Miss Kate coldly. Soon after, she took her drawing and moved away. Ooh. So, yeah. So it seems like this Kate Vaughan is probably high in rank, or I don't know, but it seems like Mr. Brooke is, or it seems like the culture in America in terms of the play, maybe at same rank level, probably in the UK, young ladies did not work. I don't know. It seems like something like that. Because Kate Vaughan doesn't seem to understand why she doesn't have time to draw. And as soon as he says that, then it seems like this girl, or probably she's a rich girl, then she just doesn't want to stay with the march with Meg, next to Meg. There is no place like America for us workers, Miss Meg, said Mr. Brooks, smiling. His brown eyes looked at Meg warmly, and she smiled back at him. I wish I liked teaching as much as you do, she said. Yeah, because tutor means teacher as well. So he's a private tutor in the sense that he's teaching. Or maybe he's got another, maybe Laurie has another teacher. Yeah, anyway, it's teacher as well. So I wish I liked teaching as much as you do, she said. You would if you were teaching Laurie, said Mr. Brooke. I'll be sorry when he goes to college next year, but then I shall become a soldier. I think every young man wants to be a soldier, said Meg, but it's hard for the family who stay at home. I have no family, and not many friends to care if I live or die, said Mr. Brooke, sadly. That's quite sad here. Laurie and his grandfather would care, said Meg, and we would all be very sorry if anything happened to you. Thank you, said Mr. Brooke, cheering up immediately. Oh, and that's the end of chapter 8. Chapter 9 tomorrow, secrets. So we will read chapter 9 at 5 p.m. tomorrow, and then chapter 10 at 6 p.m. So I guess I will close the live, and then I will reopen the live for chapter 10 so that I will get 2 videos. So what did you think about this chapter? Tell me. The end is so sweet about the conversation with Brooke, Mr. Brooke, and Meg. So it feels like, maybe something is happening here. Love is in the air. I mean, the no play and all work, all play and no work is so the all play and no work week is quite funny. And the mother is so clever. I don't know what you think, but the mother is so clever. If you remember, clever is intelligent. She's smart, intelligent, clever. Because they are the begin. They are at the beginning. Yeah. Yes, she is so clever to let the girls really go through the experience and then make so they realize themselves that all play and no work is not a good thing, and it's not actually fun, really, being all the time on holidays. So as fun as it may sound, it's not actually great. And what she says in the end is that you need to find a good balance between having fun and also do a little bit of work. Do the what you've got to do, and then enjoy yourself. So it's a nice thing to teach. It's good values to teach to your children, and I think that it's something that is good wisdom, I would say. I would say she's very wise. She's a mother that is very wise. Wise, do you understand wise? Being wise? WISE, wise. So in other words, someone that has experience and is able to have a distance and observe and analyze things as well. Very wise. Being reflect a lot as well. It's this idea of reflecting on things. So she's very wise on life and about her daughter's life as well, and teaching her daughters the things of life. So yeah, it's a lovely chapter here with a lot of with a fun experiment here. And then this sweet moment with Mr. Brooke and Meg chatting, and this girl, Kate, she's English, Kate Vaughan, and it seems like this girl has a opinion of herself, or it seems like she is in a high rank in society in England. So the fact that Meg is Meg is working is actually something that she doesn't like, or she's not very feels like she doesn't want to be around her because she's working. She's not you too poor for me to spend time with. You're not the same social rank, because if basically she's not working means that she's rich enough not to work. So it means that they have the same social rank. But when she learns that she actually needs to work to be able to make a living and help out her family, she instantly understands that Meg and Kate are not on the same social rank. So she's going to make a distance, or she's going to distance herself from Meg instantly. So so that's not really nice. Anyway, so that was it. That was it for tonight. So I don't know. So I hope that you enjoyed this chapter, and I look forward, Kitty, to listen to your thoughts on the chapters on Saturday, and I will see you tomorrow. So badly about working women. It's unbelievable to think so badly about working women. Yeah, you see it, and it comes from and it's because that was what was expecting society, at the time in the 18th century. So you see how you could make the difference between, you could instantly see that these two were not on the same social rank. And by this discussion, she instantly saw that, oh, we are not in the same world. We are not part of the same world, and I'm not gonna stay with you because you're working. But and the fact that it's that thing of, and for many years, this view of women not working and staying at home to look after the house, look after the kids, keeping the house tidy, and being the housewife is really embedded from centuries of patriarchal societies, of course, and the fact that even women themselves were judging other women and judging themselves as well, feeling guilty as well, or sometimes. But the thing is that, seeing women working to be able to live, make a living, was not something that was well perceived. And perhaps, all in all, Meg and Kate don't really have much difference in terms of maybe social rank, maybe. But because people, even it's like the noble in society, they were living on credits. So to be able to keep up living this pretending to, because they just had the title. Because you had that title, you had that social rank, and you could pretend of having this lifestyle, but you were crawling under a lot of debts and credits. But you see those, so maybe Kate's family doesn't maybe have that much money, not much more money than the March girls, but because maybe she's has a name or a social, maybe she's a descendant from a noble family, then she, or I don't know, her family's her family, uh um or maybe the way she's been brought up, that's what I want to say. The depends on the opinion, the family's values, um and also um not mindset, but the kind of thinking of what it means to be a noble, or what it means to be someone that is rich, is that it means that you have to be, you have to stay at home and you don't have to work. If that means that you this way you show that you're rich because you don't need to work. It's only poor people who work, you see. So yeah, there is this duality here, but at the same time, Meg and Jo actually are independent women. So it's very um, how to say, avant-garde, or very, not avant-garde because that's very specific to art and stuff, but they're very independent, and very, yeah, they already have this kind of idea of empowerment, in the fact that they are earning their own money and they're not depending on a man or on their father to bring the money in the house. So, and it's also something that shifted a lot of mentalities after the First World War and then the Second World War, where the women were turning, where actually how to say, making the country running, who they were actually running the factories, they were working and in the farms, so they were really at the forefront of the economy, of keeping up with the economy, and producing um, and carrying on with the work, with what was needed for the people and the soldiers and the government, and what was needed for the war, in terms of weapons and all that. And so I think also the feminism movements and all that got reinforced as well with after the world wars, because women were actually feeling empowered once they had that opportunity to be able to work and earn their own money, and they were good at it. And this is actually, I've watched some films about this. There is this French film actually, who you have this mother and her daughter who are taking over the farm because they're the dad is, where the men are at war, and they're actually running the farm, or I think one is dead, the husband is dead or something like that, and they're running the farm and you know, doing the business with the farm and everything. And actually you have some when the men came back from the war, they didn't like that. They didn't like the fact that, oh, what? They managed themselves. They managed to run the farm, and the farm was actually going even better than before the war. And they saw some men actually, I mean, this is where the men saw that actually they felt threatened by women. And and this is how we put back again the women to the house and to where they belonged in the house. So you can see how you had two steps forward, one step forward, one big step forward, and two backwards. Because then after that, we put women in the house, and for very long, a lot of women didn't have credit cards until the 50s. It's something that is mad when you think about it. And yeah, it's it's really interesting to see that everything, a lot of things changed for women in with the suffragettes and feminism movement, but at the same time uh, they were pushed back as well. And uh, and uh, and and the rights for them, the women's rights, were again a struggle for them to they had to fight for it, um, knowing that during the war they had so many freedom and so many power within their hands, because they had to do they had very strategic role. They had very strategic role. So yeah, we could talk about it for hours. So I'm gonna stop here. It's strange that this live is not showing me that I need to stop. It feels like maybe I can do more than 1 hour. I don't know. I don't know. It's strange that it doesn't show, because I think that it's been an hour now, I guess. Anyway, so I'm gonna stop here, and I see you tomorrow to read chapter 9. Bye bye.